Welcome back, guys. It's the Screen Squad. I'm Kev. And if you know anything about me, I love the creepy, I love the weird, I love the shocking. Today, we're going over the first 3 episodes of season 3 of a show that I don't know I know it's got a following, but I hope I could help get the show an even bigger following because it's one of the creepiest, coolest things I've ever watched. Of course, I'm talking about From. The show brought to us by MGM Plus, was on Prime Video, but now you just need MGM Plus to watch it. It's becoming such a hit. I think they're really cracking down on how people can watch the show. But regardless, the first 2 seasons were an epic display of weird and creepy. And now season 3 is just taking off in crazy ways. Insane story advancement. It's one of them shows that makes you use your brain and try to think, and every episode leaves you utterly shocked at what you just witnessed. So with that being said, let's get into it. If you watch it, you know what I'm going to be talking about. If not, I will do a season 1 and 2 recap at a later date, so stay tuned for that before you watch this. But with that being said, season 3 is here and here to stay. We start off with the story picking up shortly after the events of the finale of season 2, which involved a number of characters being caught in this weird trance that our savior, Boyd Stevens, played epically by Harold Perrineau, saving the day by smashing this music box and freeing the few citizens of this town from this weird trance that's killing them. With that being said, we also get a moment with Tabitha, who is led by Victor into the woods to this bottle tree. And it's one of Victor's many faraway trees that when you step inside the hollow hole tree, you get transported somewhere else. Her having visions of these dead kids lately led her to believe that she needed to free the kids. And when she tells this to Victor, reiterates that his mother was under the same thing way back. Because if you think about it, Victor's been trapped here for 40, 50, 60 years, whatever the case may be. So he leads her to this tree. She goes in and under the impression that she has to save the kids from the tower. She gets to the tower. She climbs it. It's a lighthouse. Turns around. A little boy looks at her and says, "I'm sorry, this is the only way." Pushes her out of the window. Tabitha then wakes up back in the real world, away from this town, in a hospital. The doctors are telling her that hikers found her passed out on a trail and brought her in. Now, under the impression, me and several people I know that watch the show, we're all under the impression that she wouldn't remember where she was that whole time, but she does. She remembers everything. So with that being said, she's now on a mission to try and find her way, I don't know if maybe find her way back to that town so she can get everybody out, or find a way to get everybody out while she's still out. Her story in this first episode leads to her coming across an old man who recognizes the lunchbox that she's carrying. It was Victor's. Turns out this man is none other than Victor's father, which mind-blowing that the father looks the same age as the son, but listen, not every show can be perfect, right? But then we go back to the town where Boyd is trying to figure out what's the next logical step. And before they even can catch a breath, it's nighttime. The creatures are back. Except now the creatures seem to have gotten smarter, or I don't know if it's smarter or just more defiant, because they must know that the townspeople are running low on food. All the crops went bad. The only real source of food they have left are the couple of cows and goats that they have in the pens in the barn. So come nighttime, these creatures release the animals into the street. Boyd sees this through the windows of the sheriff's station, runs out with a bunch of other citizens to try and get the creatures back in their pens. The goats are, and mind you, all the other creatures are now chasing people in the tunnel. Julie and Ethan, Jim and Tabitha's kids, are in their house. There's a knock on the door. Ethan opens the door. It's the creepy old lady who, if you saw the first episode of the show, you know what she did. And the creature just kicks the door open and walks in the house. I didn't think that was possible unless they were invited in. But apparently, as long as there's an open door, they could do whatever. So she goes in, she chases the kids, and transforms into her creature form, which we're seeing more and more of throughout this episode, is them not just their face changing, but their whole body's changing into these creatures and staying that way. When normally we don't typically see that. And then fast forward a little bit, Kenny's mom, Tian Chen, and Boyd get the cows back into the barn. Wasn't a good plan because several of these creatures were waiting in the barn for them. Handcuff Boyd to a post and make him watch as they murder Kenny's mother. We've never seen these creatures act in such a way. It was just mind-blowing. Utterly mind-blowing to see this. Shocking, sad in every way. Kenny and Jim were off in the woods at nighttime, finding a way to get more food for everybody, just in search of something. So Kenny had no idea what was transpiring with his mother until the beginning of episode 2 when they come back into town. First thing Kenny looks for is his mother. Boyd's immediately, he's distraught. He's sick from what he just witnessed. Sarah saved the kids. Last night was a mess. And what a great way to start a finale to start a premiere. Then with utter bloodbath. This show is just so incredible. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyway, Jim and Kenny end up finding a shitload of crops growing by a lake or a river, whatever it is, and they intend to bring them back. But that all gets halted when Kenny comes back and discovers that his mother is no longer with them, to which he goes on a rampage wanting to burn all of them, not knowing what it would do to them, because these things are impervious to everything, including guns to the face. The only person to successfully kill him was Boyd in season 2, when he had that weird worm crap in his blood, and he, if you know, you know. We also got the fact that Jim's kids, not kids, more like just Julie, are resenting their father for not being there to parent them, all because he's out looking for their mother. Though, if there's one thing I don't like about the show right now, it's Julie Matthews. She's just complacent, can never seem to be in a good mood. I mean, granted, how could you be in a good mood in this town? But she's always blaming everybody else instead of just stepping up and doing what she's got to do. Ethan's too young to give a shit. I mean, but he does give a shit. And I feel bad for the kid because now his mom's gone. His dad's off always looking for her. It's just a messed up situation. I also want to touch on a weird theory I have for something I'm about to get into. Pika Gafuri, her portrayal of Fatima is getting crazy because, as you know, it was revealed at the end of season 2 that she is pregnant when she was told by doctors in her past that she would never be able to have kids. And now in this creepy town, she's pregnant. She can't eat regular food. It all makes her nauseous. The only thing this woman is able to eat is the rotten crops that they had to dig up. And she just went in on it like it was ribs at an all-you-can-eat night. I have a theory that she doesn't have a normal baby growing inside of her. Now, we know these creatures all at one point started as human. But how are they born? What if the baby growing inside of her is a little demon monster baby? Yeah, little demon monster baby. That's my theory. And it's also weird because every time we've ever seen her going in and out of buildings, she's never the one that opens the door. Either the door's already open or somebody opens it for her. She never touches a door. Could that just be coincidence? Yes. Is it worth looking into? Possibly. Now, the fact that she's got a possible demon baby growing inside of her, and all Alice can think about is, oh, I'm going to be a dad. Well, your baby could kill you. Just saying. Your baby could most definitely just murder you the second it comes out the mom's belly. Now, we don't know. Like, if it comes out, is it going to come out ready to kill, or is it going to have to grow into that? Or are they going to have a whole situation where they have to kill a baby? I don't know. That's what makes the show so increasingly just shocking. And the suspense factor just climbs every episode. And by the end of episode 2, Jim answers a ringing phone that should not be ringing. And it's his dead son, Thomas, who they lost before this whole show started. Now, into episode 3, Jim quickly answers and goes, "You're not my son. Stop doing this. Why are you doing this?" And he hangs up. And then he's just in a frenzy because the child on the phone tells him he should be paying closer attention to his children, which sends him outside to go fetch the kids and be increasingly just mental about it. Ethan wants to keep talking about the fact that his mom could potentially be dead. He doesn't want to talk about it. He's got to talk about it because something's going on. And that's a whole other story. We lead to Victor's father and Tabitha back in the real world, and Vic's dad shows Tabitha all these paintings that his wife drew before they went missing. And all the paintings are of this town and things that Tabitha has seen in her visions, as far as the dead kids, the bottle trees, everything. And then she hears the bottle tree in the backyard, goes to it expecting there to be a doorway. That's just a regular tree, to which Vic's father tells her that that's not the original, that the original project that she did the bottle trees on is a few towns over in a park. And as they're on their way, she has this little freak out where she's like, "Am I still in the town? I don't believe you. Is any of this real?" Because she finds in his glove box the bracelet that she had made for Jim before season 1. Why is that in Vic's father's car? Like, something is messing with her. And she's under the impression that something is making her think she's free, but she's not. And as they're getting in this altercation and argument in the car, they get T-boned. She awakens in the back of an ambulance. Vic's father is now on a stretcher with his neck being protected, not sure if he's going to be okay. And they're in the ambulance with the EMTs on the way to the hospital when the vehicle stops. Why does the vehicle stop in the middle of the road? The tree crossing the road. She immediately sees this and realizes that she's back in the town. Back at the beginning steps of getting to that town. But you know what happens? You see that tree, you turn the car around, you go back, and next thing you know, you're in the town. And I was so freaking shocked at that. That blew my mind. That absolutely blew my fucking mind. And from what I've seen, cast members are all saying episode 4 is a big one. Episode 4 is huge. Something along the lines of new people arriving in the town at night. We've never seen people arrive to the town while these creatures are out feeding or just terrorizing people. We've only ever seen people arrive to the town during the day. So if this is true, that people, EMTs and all them are going to arrive at night, that's terrifying. Because they're going to be dropped in the middle of a pool full of piranhas feeding time. I can't even begin to imagine what's going to happen a week from yesterday. 6 days until episode 4. This show is balls to the wall crazy, man. And on top of that, he got buoyed with this plan of capturing one. It's not really a plan, it's just more of a concept of a plan. I'm sorry, I had to do that. He has no direction he wants to go. Is enlisting Ellis. Donna's not for that. Donna's against it. Doesn't want to see him die from a half-cocked idea and basically make all the other deaths have no meaning. Tian Chen, Kenny's dad. I don't remember his name. Father, the priest, whatever his name was. Father Contra. And that's exactly what these creatures said to Boyd. They want to break him. They want to make him into something he isn't. And that's exactly what's happening, is he's unraveling. They're all unraveling. Now you got Kenny, Christy, Jade, and a bunch of other people out at where Kenny and Jim found the crops, gathering the rest of the crops so that people can keep thriving and eating. When Christy gets her leg caught in a bear trap, they free her. Jade is still mentally spazzing out with these weird visions of dead people. There's just so much going on. They're going to be out there at nighttime too, so episode 4 really is going to be a bang. And if you like that show, please talk to me about it, either on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, in the comments. Just let me know in the comments below where you think the show's going and how you think it's going to play out the rest of the season. Do you think Fatima has a demon baby growing inside of her? And there's also rumors that the old lady that's in town now that came in on the bus is Victor's sister or mother. I don't think it's his mother because we did see a body for that. Could it be his sister because we never saw her body? And if we did, correct me because I don't remember. But with that being said, I hope you guys are enjoying season 3 of From. Talk to me about it. I want to hear your theories and discuss it in episodes moving forward. Until next time, I'm Kev with the Screen Squad saying, peace.